The Appalachian Mountains have always been a place of mystery. Ancient hills cloaked in fog, valleys echoing with stories older than America itself. People disappear here, whispers say. Some are never seen again. Others come back, but they are never quite the same. One autumn, a group of hikers, Alex, Maria, Tom, and Vanessa, set off on a trip through the mountains. They had planned it for months, eager to disconnect from the chaos of modern life and immerse themselves in the beauty of the wilderness. The trail they chose was remote, untouched by tourism, promising solitude and breathtaking views. The first day was perfect. Crisp air, golden leaves crunching underfoot, the occasional glimpse of deer slipping through the trees. They set up camp near a small clearing as the sun dipped below the ridgeline, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. The night was filled with laughter, shared stories, and the crackling of the campfire. But on the second night, things began to change. It started with the silence. No chirping insects, no rustling leaves, not even the distant hoot of an owl. Just a heavy, oppressive stillness that settled over the forest like a thick blanket. Maria was the first to wake up. Something had pulled her from sleep, though she wasn't sure what. She lay still in her tent, listening. And then she heard it. A whisper, soft and beckoning. Maria. She bolted upright, her breath caught in her throat. It sounded like Alex, but it came from outside the tent. She turned to look. Alex was still curled up in his sleeping bag, breathing deeply. The whisper came again, just beyond the thin fabric of the tent. Maria, come here. A chill ran down her spine. It was Alex's voice, his exact tone, his exact cadence. But she knew it wasn't him. She squeezed her eyes shut and stayed absolutely still until dawn. The next morning, Maria told the others. They laughed it off at first, teasing her about an overactive imagination. But Tom went quiet. When pressed, he admitted he had heard something too. His name, called out in the dark. I thought it was one of you messing around, he said, rubbing his eyes. But when I looked out, there was no one there. A nervous energy settled over them, but they pressed on, continuing their hike deeper into the woods. The unease was easy to dismiss in the daylight when the sun filtered through the canopy, and the forest felt warm and welcoming. But that night, it happened again. They sat around the fire, trying to shake off the tension. Then from the trees, a voice. Alex. Alex turned, frowning. What? I didn't say anything, Maria said, from the opposite side of the clearing. Tom. Tom stiffened. Who the hell is that? The fire flickered, casting long, dancing shadows. The whispers came again, overlapping, surrounding them. Vanessa, come here. Maria, don't be afraid. The voices mimicked their own. Alex calling Maria, Maria calling Tom, Vanessa calling Alex. But the cadence was off. Too slow, too deliberate. Then, footsteps. Software, deliberate. Moving just beyond the fire's reach. Vanessa grabbed a flashlight and shone it toward the trees. The beam caught something, a figure just at the edge of the clearing. It stood unnaturally still, its limbs too long, its posture slightly hunched, and though its face was shadowed, they could all feel it watching them. Alex jumped to his feet, brandishing a hunting knife. Who's there? Silence. Then, it smiled, not in a human way. Its mouth stretched too wide, lips peeling back over too many teeth. Vanessa screamed. The fire suddenly guttered, the shadows closing in, and the thing moved. It didn't lunge, it didn't charge. It simply stepped forward, slow, deliberate, patient. Maria grabbed Alex's arm. Run! They bolted, crashing through the underbrush, their breath ragged, their packs forgotten by the fire. The voices followed, growing louder, more insistent, blending into a chorus of their own names. Somewhere in the chaos, Vanessa tripped. Alex hauled her to her feet, but by then, Tom had vanished. They didn't stop running until they saw the outline of an old hunting cabin through the trees. Bursting inside, they slammed the door, barricading it with whatever they could find. For hours, they listened. The whispers came in waves, sometimes right outside, sometimes distant. They never heard Tom's screams, just his voice, later. Software begging. "Guys, please, let me in." Morning came. The voices stopped. And when they opened the door, the forest was still again. They never found Tom. They hiked back to civilization in silence, their group now incomplete. Search parties combed the area, but no trace of Tom was ever recovered. No footprints. No belongings. Days later, as Maria lay awake in her apartment staring at the ceiling, she heard it again. A whisper. "Maria, please. It's me. Let me in."